絶対必要としてる欲求の中の1個だって言われてるわけじゃん。寝る欲求だったりとか、セックスする欲求だったりとか、だからスポーツだって感じにくくて、それを使って一番大事なのって自分がスポーツだっていうふうに信じて、
I'm never full. I'm never satisfied. I'm always hungry.
When I like something, I'm obsessed with it. And I've just been really obsessed with this for a while. I get to travel, go off on the weekends and get fucked up and do these contests, and I'm gonna do that because normal life is dreadful.
I don't smoke, I hardly drink. I eat a lot, I stretch my stomach with water. What's the worst that can happen?
I'm more competitive with myself. I want to know that I can do something.
A runner runs, a boxer boxes. You know, I'm an eater, I eat.
You know, to swallow multiple toppings at one time is more of a training method than a plane pie, so I'll be used to some of the crap I don't like in the first place. Starving right now.
You're starving? So what's next on your competition schedule?
January, I have the Philadelphia Wing Bowl, which is an event in front of 20,000 people the Friday before the Super Bowl. And I plan on taking that this year too.
Pepperoni, ham, mushrooms, green pepper, sausage, onions. Thank you.
How long do you think it'll take you?
I figure this pizza should take probably about 7 minutes, tops, maybe 8 minutes, but I don't think I'll get that far. You ready? All right, let's eat up. Ready? 3, 2, 1, eat.
I'm the U.S. Mail, M-A-L-E. Trademark comes from my job as a U.S. postal worker, mail carrier. I started in 2007 as a competitive eater.
What do you think when Daddy eats all that food at one time? You think it's disgusting?
No.
What do I look like doing it?
Like that.
What am I doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
You feel when he does it?
Painful watching him.
My wife hated it at first. She says, you know, when I first signed up for Wing Bowl, she goes, you'll do it once, probably that'll be it.
Just the one that feeds me all the time.
I've been one of those eaters, everybody says, slow down, slow down. You eat too fast, eat too much. And my friends try to talk me into doing this to see if I can actually compete with the big boys. And I said, nah, I can't do it. And then gave it a shot, and the rest is history. I'm ranked 19th in the world in something, you know? Even though it's just eating, you're really good at something.
competitive eating has a handful of marquee names. Last week, I introduced you to a new hero, Pennsylvania's Brad Shulo.
As a competitive eater, I don't just want to change the sport, I want to change the way the world works. My major goal, to eat the one thing everyone thinks is impossible to eat.
His dream? To eat the 20-pound, 30,000-calorie belly buster.
Would I do it again? Not with the relish.
You're training today, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you usually do?
2 gallons of water and 40 pieces of bubble gum for 20 minutes. What makes an athlete? An athlete trains and competes. That's it. If you drink over a gallon of water and you digest it and it goes through your system, you can drown. It'll stop your heart. Is it dangerous for a guy to wake up and attempt to drink a gallon of water? Well, sure. It's just as dangerous for them to attempt to run 5 miles. It's like blowing up a balloon with helium, real fast. If you do it slow, it really doesn't matter. If you do it fast and intense on the muscle, it just expands and it'll stay like that.
The name The Lunatic came from a restaurant that was near my house. And they would do 40-ounce steak nights. And one day I had the bone up to my mouth and I was trying to get the meat, the rest of it off. And somebody was sitting across and he goes, "You're a lunatic." And he got real offended. He said, "What are you doing this for? That's gross. That's gross." I mean, he's like wigging out about me doing that. I continued. Vinegar, cinnamon, liquid smoke, stuff that was, darn near inedible in its own right. And I did that along with my water training and the gum training to really push the boundaries of pain to see, okay, this is how bad this much food hurts. Let me touch back mentally on a time when I downed half a gallon of white vinegar and my nose was bleeding. That hurt way worse. I'm okay now. Let's keep eating.
I take a deep breath, like a singer. Essentially, that's the beginnings of, you hear about trumpet players. Kenny G is accredited to the breathing technique they use to hold notes. It's about what I'm trying to create in my stomach as opposed to the air outside.
First eating contest was junior high, 8th grade year, Fruitopias. And I ended up drinking 8 the fastest. After being able to do that for a while, I wanted to see if other people could do that. And sure enough, that's about the time when Kobayashi showed up.
野球選手になりたいって子供の頃、僕逆にもし同じぐらいの有名さが手に入ったとしても今の方を選ぶよ。今のような面白い経験ができる。やっぱテクニックがもともとあると思うんだよね。食べ物に自分の食べ方を合わせるのがうまいんだよね。コンテストいきなり100のコンテストをパッと急にやったとしたら90ぐらいのコンテストは自分が優勝すると思うよ。初めに食べる競争のテレビ番組出た。どうだプロ小林タケル。どうだこれ試合終了3分前。きついぞ24。優勝したねチャンピオンのコメントが欲しいって言われて、その時にこれ食べる競争っていうのはスポーツだよってもう彼ら自身がスポーツだって言いながらスポーツだって認められてないっていうことを自分の心の中で認めてるってことね。思ってないよ。やってみて思ったね。
It was
unbelievable because I was on the stage that day.
Nobody had ever seen a competitor like him. He was so short, so diminutive. He didn't fit the prototype. Prior, the prototype was the big bruiser, the Gavone Jadrul, the knuckle dragger. You know, a guy who had such a big belly he couldn't even scratch it.
Back then, it was just one contest once per year, Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, and no one really knew about it.
When the contest kind of came into the modern era, late 70s, people would eat 9, 10, 12 minutes, and that would be it. It'd be a spectacle.
My best was 20 hot dogs in 12 minutes, and back then, that was a pretty big number, considering since 1956, 17 was the most eaten.
They didn't know what they had until a few years passed, and they realized, wait a minute, we can get some burly guys who really can eat some of this. The numbers started going up, 12, 13, 15, 18. And then the great Takeru Kobayashi, eating 50 hot dogs and buns.
We had count cards, and we had one that went up to 40, and his manager was complaining that that wasn't high enough.
They're flipping the numbers. They get to 30, they got no numbers left. They ran out of numbers. It was frenzy. He's above 40. I mean, it's the uncharted territory. Doing what he did, doubling the then record, was like Secretariat not winning by 31 lanes or 61 lanes, but literally lapping the field twice.
The kid is incredible. A total beating of the Americans. He was like a conveyor belt. I can't believe it. The record, new record, 50.
And that was the moment when everyone realized that this was not just some sort of pastime. This was actually a professional sport.
You hungry? Looking for a tempting treat?
So there's two basic competitions you can have. A breathing contest and an eating contest, because these are the most basic things that human beings do. Competitive eating is probably the original contest. In the 1930s, it certainly was pie eating contest.
Each trying to finish first and win the grand prize, a year's supply of soap.
The sport has obviously grown. The Major League Eating is a governing body of all stomach-centric sports. You do need a governing body to set rules and standards and size of hot dogs, length of contest.
I was in Puerto Rico a month ago at Taco Bell. You know, we had a great event a couple of weeks ago at Toronto's Festival of Beers. I've seen all the greats of the sport.
Competitive eating is the battleground upon which God and Lucifer wage war.
There's only one league in the world, Major League Eating. If you can't dunk a basketball, you can dunk a hot dog bun.
There's a Major League Baseball. There's a National Football League. Major League Eating is at that level.
The great thing about Major League Eating is that it's organized. It gives validity to it.
What the Shays have done have turned it into an actual sporting event.
We are at the dawn of a new sport.
He's the commissioner of the International Federation of Competitive Eating. Hero, exactly.
The IFOCE is a public relations firm that promote businesses, and one of their vehicles for promoting businesses and such is competitive eating. And the Shea brothers run that with an iron fist.
If you declare yourself to be the International Federation of Competitive Eating, you will immediately be taken more seriously. Everyone began referring to them as a league.
20 years ago, you could never have this vision that it would be this big and be this lucrative. It's on ESPN. I mean, that's worldwide.
MLE because of its reputation, gets the big sponsors, and when you get the big sponsors, that's where the money comes from. Major League Baseball, I mean, their main source of income is people going to games and TV deals and that sort of thing, right? Whereas this is 100% sponsorship.
It's a huge business now in which millions of dollars obviously are made because of the promotional aspects of these contests.
They value their business around in the millions of dollars, but it doesn't trickle down to the lesser eaters.
Most people start doing it because they saw Nathan's and they're like, I want to get into this, I can do this. If you do MLE long enough, you get the fame and you get the recognition, but you don't get money.
You know, we're not getting paid salaries, we're not making a living off of it. You're not getting your travel expenses paid for, you're not getting any special privileges of getting your hotel paid for. You're spending your own dime to get from point A to point B.
When I started, the IFOC was relatively young. Now it's more of a business type atmosphere.
The Shea brothers initially did everything they could to promote this sport. And they've created the atmosphere that exists now surrounding these international events. They've made it international. But once they had us by the short hairs of our chinny chin chin and held us by the onions, they squeeze and they squeeze.
最初初めて出た時って何の契約もなかったんだよね、実はね。そろそろ耐えられないなっていうのが2年か3年前だったんだよね。で、それから
contracts came around later on where we signed up to be members of the IFOCE, and there were some rules around that about eating in only IFOCE sanctioned contests.
I can have an agent, but it would be useless because I would have to get everything cleared through them and they probably wouldn't clear anything that I wanted to do.
Which makes it different than like the NFL, the NBA.
It's a conflict of interest based on how the contract is set up.
Tennis players can get endorsement deals, right? I mean, they have to allow these guys to make a living wage.
自分が感じてるのは多分ここの団体だとお金にもならない。普通の外から見てる普通のファンとか普通のテレビ見てる人から見たらプライズマニーはいいくらいくらいくらって言ったら勝った人間に言ってると思うじゃん。あれはただ見せてるだけ、ランキングと一緒。見せてるだけで。
I was hyped, super hyped. It wasn't the first time I had placed. It was my first real title with IFOS. Canoles was my last IFOS contest. It'd be the last time I competed under the IFOS banner. Did the burger challenge. I get a call from Rich and George, and they called me selfish. They said what I had done was a selfish act, that it took away from the other eaters, that what I had done wouldn't be positive for them, and that I gave eating a bad name to do what I did. Now here I am thinking, man, this is the biggest deal to hit eating since Kobayashi. Nothing hit the papers like that did. They said, you don't talk about us, you don't mention our name, and you're not with us anymore.
The IFOC found out that I was doing non-sanctioned contests. And I found some small competitions around my home in Cincinnati. I will not be allowed to compete in any IFOC event as it looks like from this point on.
The Shea brothers run a monopoly. I'll kiss them, the Shea brothers, for how they resurrected this true American treasure. But I'll curse them until the day they die and how they've exploited it. And you can't even talk to them any longer. I remember when they were just two brothers putting together a public relations firm. Now all of a sudden it's like trying to deal with the White House. It's like I didn't exist. I was a person of no consequence. Hey, get out of my way.
The Sheas are cooking up a plan to bring the belt back to America.
Competitive eating has faced an enormous challenge and an enormous hurdle in Takeru Kobayashi.
コントラクトは切れたのは去年のいつだったかな覚えてないな。去年の多分違う去年だよ。弁護士と向こうがやり取りしてるんだけど、向こうはやり取りして帰ってくるコントラクトっていうのがどんどんただ悪くなるだけなんだよね。7月のコンテストのちょっと前になって急にこっちの弁護士にも何の連絡もなしで小林はコントラクトの関係で今年出ませんみたいな発表したじゃん。
We got word this morning that the sport's biggest star is sitting out. He is upset about his contract.
何かねコンテスト出れるようなチャンスはないかなっていうふうに 最後まで諦めてはなかったよね。だからあの場所に行くっていうのはもう諦めてそこにいないっていうよりあの場所に自分がいて人に乗っちゃいけないって考えてないね。人の頭に残っちゃったらすごい自分のイメージって悪いのかもしれないけど、でもなんで捕まったのかっていう先のことまで考えてくれる人がいるんだったら
just registered for my to do my stunt to get in the wing ball. We were told right away that we cannot participate because the IFOC is not going to sanction the wing ball. I don't like the fact that they told me I'm sorry you can't do it. Who the hell they tell me I can't do an event this big in my hometown? That's bull crap. It's 20,000 people there. It's $20,000 in a truck for first place. I mean, what IFOC contest is that kind of first place prize? I gotta give it a shot. The money is important for my family. We're gonna train hard.
Scream it.
No, say it right.
Number one.
Number one.
My first time going against Furious Pete. Gonna see Brad Schulo again.
What we're gonna do with Wing Bowl, it'll be a Hannibal Lecter theme. I'll be in a straight jacket with a mouth covering. My hair, I'm growing my hair out a lot bigger than this. I want to try to put little fake razor blades in it and stuff. I'll come out in a plastic enclosure. The plastic enclosure will raise up. I'll break out a straight jacket and I'll have a chicken in front of me. Somebody will have it on a pole to dangle. We can all start to tussle and get out and get really mad. I'll break out, grab the chicken, bite the head off, and let it go. And then as the crane goes down, I'll jump off the float and I'll be ready for it.
I've been with the International Federation of Competitive Eating for the last 4 years. Currently ranked number 19 in the world. I have never trained as hard as I have this past month. I will not let these people down.
This is
pussy. I think that he really needs to go see a doctor or something like that, you know, because I don't know, he didn't come because he thought it was rigged for me to win or something. And he's supposed to compete against me so many times before, and he always pushes out.
If Wing Bowl was legit, it would be the greatest event in eating. Since it's not legit, it might be the worst event for eating. So I decided the only way I can combat this is not to show up. I'm not gonna show up and get beaten by a guy under illegitimate terms. I wanna get beaten by the rules. I want a legit contest, and if I get beat, then so be it.
I don't think it was fixed for Pete to win it all, obviously, because he didn't win. Me and about a carload of 6 guys were on our way to Philadelphia to be in his entourage, and he notifies me that he's not going to show up to Wing Bowl because he thinks it's fixed. I haven't spoken to Brad since.
And a couple articles, a couple of other articles I have been saving. Some local paper did a thing, how to eat wings properly.
How does it make you feel looking at all this stuff you've done? Proud of it? Yeah.
I watch this, I look at this stuff, I mean, when it's all done, it'll be great, but I look at it and I say, bring back memories, how it all started. They threw me out of the federation because I ate at the Wing Bowl against their wishes. But I really can't watch an event right now knowing I should be up on that stage with those guys eating. And the as far as being off the federation, rankings, oh well, so I'm not 19th ranked eater in the world anymore. Oh well, what do I lose? I'm not losing a paycheck, just a little pride.
やっぱり初めてのね、イベントだから緊張したよね、捕まった後っていうのはね。だからみんな喜んでくれるかなとか、どういう風に反応するかなっていう緊張感はあったけど、たくさんの人が喜んでくれたし、ニュースにもなったりとかしたから、自分がやりたかったのは、自分のライツっていうのを守って、で自分のこのコンペルビーターとしての、その能力っていうのを生かしてどこまで活動できるかなと思ってるから、とにかくこの能力をね、もう目いっぱい生かしていろんなことチャレンジしていきたいなと思ってるだけでね。もうだから前はアスリートとしてやってたんだけど、今はライフスタイルっていう、自分のライフスタイルのような
Why is Kobayashi not in the MLE anymore?
You know, Kobayashi's an awesome eater. He just doesn't want to compete. I don't think doesn't want to take the chance of losing. He'd rather do exhibitions, eating against himself, and that's all right. I'm a competitive eater. I love competing against people, and Kobayashi wants to compete against me. He knows where I am.
Now, we have looked all over the U.S. We have looked in California, Nevada. We have looked in Boston. We have found no one who can beat Takeru Kobayashi. What we need to do is find the great American eater.
Takeru Kobayashi, the greatest eater in the history of the world until the arrival of Joey Jaws Chestnut, who actually has eaten more than Kobayashi.
A total surprise, a rookie, his first time at Coney Island, his first year, months uncertain.
He said, I'm gonna eat 50 hot dogs next year at the finals. Like, you just ate 30. Like, nobody eats 50 hot dogs. He said, I'm gonna do it. It's just gonna happen.
Joey really wants to win. He'll figure out a way. Everyone said it was impossible to beat Kobayashi, and he said, no, it's not. I'm gonna beat him.
It was an actual sporting event that is covered by ESPN.
Kobayashi falls to second. They're both now well over. Kobayashi pausing now. Kobayashi pausing now. This would be the greatest moment in the history of American sports if Chestnut can bring the belt home to Coney Island. It's been gone for 9 years. 3, 2, 1. In first place with 66 hot dogs and buns, Joey Chestnut!
Joey Chestnut was the great white American hope. And notice he was clean cut. He was humble. You know, he had the perfect package. So the Shea brothers were like basically fornicating with one another, figuring, man, it can't get any better than this. It was like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier.
We thought Kobayashi's record would never be broken. All of a sudden, Joey Chestnut comes in, it's like, boom!
And our winner is Joey Chestnut!
Records are the only benchmark that we have. When a guy eats 68 hot dogs and buns, HDBs I call them, in 10 minutes, that is a record that either will stand forever and be the test of time, like Neil Armstrong walking on the moon. I mean, other guys walked on the moon, but there's Neil Armstrong. He's the guy you remember.
Can you tell us how you feel about these being dismissed?
すごい判決に対してすごい嬉しいです。
Yeah,
IFC のことよりも自分の今日のこと。
So at least for this month, I've only been nervous about what was going to happen today. So there hasn't been any relationship between him and IFC.
So what are you going to do in the interim for the next 6 months? Are you seeking out new competitions? Are you, I guess, what's the next thing that you're going to compete in? Are the rules any different than the Nathan's competition? Or are you concerned about them at all?
そうね、こっちのルールの方がね、ストリクトというかしっかりしてるなと思って。
He's not concerned, not worried, but because the rules are more strict, it might be a little bit harder to break the record.
it's the value of having somebody as legendary as this kid at doing this. I mean, he's the greatest in the world at doing it, and I think you're going to find out today that he is far superior to anything that's going on in Naples.
Champion, Kobayashi, 49 hot dogs.
Back with ATLA. I know Kobayashi came into this hoping to get to at least 69. Is today a disappointment, or how is he feeling now?
たくさんの人がね、ここに来てくれてたので、ぜひここで世界記録を出すところを見ていただきたいなと思ってたんですけど、とても残念です。少ないことは考えてなかったですよね。Yeah, he hadn't thought that he would be any less than that.
Competitive eating is a personal voyage for me. The hot dog doesn't change. The hot dog is, can I consume more food than anybody in the world? The food itself doesn't change. You can weigh it, there's standards. That is a marathon. That's like the Super Bowl and an Ironman triathlon put together. I was judged for more than a decade. They put me on the top guy. So most years I was on Kobayashi, other years I was on Chestnut. Because I'm the guy, I don't let him get away with anything. If you got a little bit of bun in you, I always check the cup after because they dunk. You got a lot of bun in there. I will make you drink that. Pipe will just fall out of his mouth and roll on the table. You got to count those hot dogs when they're moving 70 hot dogs in 10 minutes. It's hard to count because there's 5 on a plate. Plates are flying. You're bringing them in. Mustard. But beyond that, it's my way of kind of exploring what the human body is capable of.
People have no concept of like the weight, the training, and all the stuff that goes into it. That's why, like, when I do have a record, I want it to be like impressive, like, oh my God, really? And they can know that it would be impossible for like 99% of anyone to ever accomplish that.
We go to a buffet, then I'll have plate after plate after plate, and I'll just sit there for like 2 hours. They see the amount of food that I have, and then they're just like, where does it all go? Like, you're so tiny. And I hear it all the time. You're so tiny, and I'm twice the size of you, and I can barely finish my plate.
Most of the really good eaters are physically fit guys, and I think that's where it's going. I mean, I don't eat any starches and no gluten or anything like that. I pretty much like raw vegetables, raw foods, raw nuts.
Thin guys like Kobayashi, Nakajima, Chestnut, don't have that belt of adipose tissue blocking their muscles from natural expansion during the contest. Why has the belt of fat theory, which has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt among all scientists, why is it not accepted in the public?
This sort of sport is incredibly dangerous to engage in. If he kept doing it for years and years and years, he would likely destroy the elasticity of the stomach. When you drink a lot of fluids like that, a lot of water like that, what you're doing is you're diluting all your other minerals in your body, all your electrolytes, and those nutrients are necessary for the proper beating of your heart. Understand, when you're swallowing food like that, you're not digesting it, whole bits of food are going down to the lower GI. That can create a lot of cramping, a lot of pain, a lot of gas. You can be in agony trying to get that out.
I really do think it's just a matter of time before we see somebody have a severe rupture of their stomach or their esophagus, or a consequence of one of those things, such as severe bleeding from rupturing their esophagus or tearing something, or a delayed complication such as aspiration pneumonia from going home, taking a nap an hour or two after their meal. They have a stomach is just full of food, and it's just a matter of when they're sleeping that they aspirate some of that food. They vomit in their sleep, aspirate, and literally choke on their own vomit. It's just a matter of time. If more and more people do this, it's just a matter of time.
Let's go Maryland! Let's go Maryland! Let's go Maryland! Let's go Maryland!
What events have happened so far for you? Well, first was the wings competition. That was El Diablo Caster and CJ Cool Jams Corral.
What's the next round?
Pizza, a cake, and 80 chicken nuggets. I love competition. I'm really, really competitive, ultra competitive. I like to compete in anything.
This is the final event!
This all started back in high school when I saw the MTV True Life competitive eating, which basically featured Kobayashi. I just saw him doing his thing. I was like, wow, that is ridiculous. And I'm a fast eater, so I was like, maybe I can do that. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. And living the dream now.
作ってみたいね。もっとフェアで選手たちが本当安心して。
Do they have any competitions in Japan?
They do. They used to have a lot, and he was the basically he pioneered it into a sport, and he was proving that it didn't really matter how big you were. It was kind of like how you stretch your stomach or how you do it. And then he became famous in Japan, and then brought it to America. He's going to be doing his own contest for the first time with his name, like creating it. So he said, "Do you have any advice for me?"
I think make sure that it to try to keep, I don't know, it's hard to do, but try to keep it controlled the way you see it. Don't let someone else take the idea and make it their own. Beautiful and anything.
He said, "I hope I can be like you."
Well, I mean, you're very well known. I know you are, and I think that you brought the most attention to competitive eating for sure.
There are some similarities, I guess, between early days of skateboarding and where eating is. Do you think it's a sport?
I think really, anything that's competitive is a sport in my eyes. But I think that once people start aspiring to be the best at it because they see that there is a level of success or that there is, fame or fortune or something like that, that's when it starts becoming something that isn't just novelty.
I came out of the Army when I was 27, and I waited to 38 to start competitive eating. a lot of wasted years. I mean, who knows what could have happened? I don't want to give it up. Being at that table, you know, the camaraderie is great. The eaters, competitive eaters out there, they're awesome. Great guys. I'll continue doing it until I physically can't do it anymore.
The contest is Saturday. When did you start?
I've been doing the water now for about 10 days every day. So I figure normally it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get a really good stretch and get to the capacity I want to be at. It's gonna be my first contest since the Wing Bowl and my first one since being thrown out of the IFOCE. And this is the reason I'm always hungry, because my stomach is so stretched out I don't get full.
Is it worth it?
It's worth it for the competitive side of it, but when I go out to eat or I eat dinner at home, it's not worth it because I just want to, I want to keep eating more and more. And sometimes the wife kind of looks at me and goes, "Haven't you had enough?" Down the hatchet. All right, yeah. Now the stomach's nice and descended here. like a birth. Now I'm gonna give birth to a 3 pound bottle of water. This is weird. That guy was a problem. I got the gallon down, and I don't know, maybe I've been working outside all day. I just felt extra tightness in there, and I couldn't get a couple sips of this, and I felt like I was gonna let go right there on the spot. But no big deal. Gallon's still a good amount of water.
Are you on the phone with Brandon? Yeah, do you think, I think those could fit on his truck. I just tried to give him a call. The restaurant industry's suffering. At the end of the day, dispatching a truck is just like setting up a catering. Acme, this is Brad. Beyond that, my girlfriend's a pretty big inspiration these days for pretty much everything.
I met him at work, and some people from work had actually said, "So how do you feel about Brad's eating?" I was like, I don't know, because we had went and ate. He's like a normal person,
Yeah.
you know. And then it came out that he ate a huge, monstrous hamburger and, competes. And it is what it is. It's pretty cool.
I think that the person needs to know the eater more than the food. When you think about competitive eating, it's not the eater that turns your stomach, it's what they ate. If I was to tell you Abraham Lincoln came back to life and ate a 5-gallon bucket of jalapenos, you go, "Ugh, 5-gallon bucket of jalapenos," not, "Abe Lincoln came back to life." At the end of the day, if eating gets boring, there's only one way to bring it back. I want to eat a shark. I waited for a shark. I sat out in the ocean at night. Everybody goes in after the sun starts to go down. All I wanted was for one to come up on me and for me to at least see it. Because sometimes, a shark will come up, bite you, might not like what it tastes, and it'll run away. I don't want it to run away. I want a shark to attack me head on, something big, something my size that I can fight and wrangle with and really wrap my jaws around, tear into its gills, and go bite for bite with this thing. I could lose an arm, but I'm taking its arm, I'm taking its fin off. Whatever it does to me, I'm going to do back, and I am going to kill it. I'm going to eat the whole thing.
I'll probably do what I always do before a contest. I always dream of the food.
Yeah.
I gotta be one with the food, so I'll probably dream tonight of tacos. How I'm gonna eat them, and I'll dream of my arm raising victory. And we'll try to make it a reality tomorrow.
What would it mean to you to be able to win? If you think you win?
To beat him, it'd be great. To be the best, you gotta beat the best.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it the best shot, and if I can beat him, I can retire tomorrow.
When you look at Pete, I believe we're the only rival in eating. I don't believe that two competitors who face each other a lot is a rivalry. They can still really like each other and have no problem with the other. I have a problem with the guy as a person, beyond the table. I have a problem with what he does with the sport. I have a problem with who he is as an individual. And I have a problem with just the fact, I have a real problem with the fact that he's a roid head criticizing how safe I am with my practice.
Instead of thinking about things and focusing the way I usually do before an event, I'm pretty much focusing like I'm getting into a bar fight.
I've had little strings of what looked to be lining come up. I've thrown up these things. I had to take one was so long it got stuck in my throat. I don't know exactly what it was. Something from my stomach. It was an empty stomach. These strings of flesh came out.
Right now, this is full-time what I do. I have had a lot of luck with it. YouTube is big business nowadays. I kind of do YouTube on a very regular basis. I mean, I put out a video every Wednesday now, eating-wise.
Now let's practice, folks.
Yeah, I ate once with Brad Sheila, I guess back in 2008. Meatball eating contest, and he came in under a different name. And beforehand, he was talking about all these stories about how to train properly and everything about, you know, he's chugged so much water that he ended up in the hospital and stuff like that. And I don't know, we kind of just called him out, I guess I did too, and about the fact that, you know, he came in because he was part of Major League Eating at that point, and he came in under a different name, I forget what it was. And yeah, I guess he got pissed off for that, and yeah, he's just started running his mouth.
Now, Pete, you call my training techniques dangerous. You see, some of us still have our balls, Pete. We didn't roid them out of our scrotes. You see what I'm saying? Some of us still got the guts to do that kind of stuff. You picked the wrong guy to openly challenge. So you let me know. Anytime, anywhere. Maybe I'll come meet you. I'll come out, I don't know, fucking Canada. Anytime.
Kobayashi helped put this together, and yeah, I want a clean fight.
No getting arrested.
No getting arrested this time. Yeah, that's right.
The biggest names in food eating is here in Huntington Beach, and we're going to start this very, very soon. Friends, are you guys ready to meet the competitors?
anything on YouTube. I have a couple of things, but I didn't put them there. I don't have anything to do with it.
I work YouTube because I can make some money. That's why I do it.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, that's why I do it. And there's a lot of stuff that's stupid out there, but it sells, right? It's all
yeah. Well, again, it's the point. This is going to be one of those years when we figure out what's going to happen. Eating's going to make it, or it's not going to make it. It's going to fall back.
What?
Eating. You can argue it's going up and up, but then you look at shows like Man vs. Food that really don't help us.
That is true.
You know, that if that's what the public sees in competitive eating, that's no good for us. You know. He came up to apologize and to say, you know, what happened that started the feud between us wasn't his fault, you know. And it's well enough for him to want to do that, and I guess it can be said that that's cool of him to come into me first, but I wasn't going to him.
Okay, we're set. Good as I make it at home. Let's get out of here. The older you get, the harder it is. I'll probably do competitive eating for another 3 or 4 years.
いつも一個一個のイベントを楽しくできるし、みんなと作っていくようなイベントになったらいいなと思ってるけどね。まあ本当何かのね組織の中でただなんていうの操り人形マリオネットみたいにさ仕事してるわけじゃないでしょ。逆に言うとすごいファンだったりとか友達とか応援してくれる人の距離が。やっぱりそれがベースにあるから自分の中では7月4日にねどういうことをするかっていうのは一番人に注目されやすいで人が一番楽しんでくれるタイミングだと思ってるからそういう意味ですごい大事な。なんだろうねまあでもなんかやりたいよね面白いことやりたいなと思うけどね。
I think at this point it's just a bad breakup that can never be salvaged. I think he just wants to do his own stuff.
But like, what is like specifically in this event tomorrow? Like, what does he want to do?
Oh, he's gonna try to break the record. I don't think he's going to, but it's like an FU to the Shades and everything. I just think that's funny. What else is he gonna do? I mean, he's not gonna eat in the contest.
She needs a stage that's bigger than Coney Island. Coney Island is copped out, sold out. They wouldn't permit him to stand side by side with Joey Chestnut. They didn't want that any longer. And so he just decided, okay, if they're not going to let me compete side by side with Joey Chestnut, I'll compete, but from a different venue.
Everybody in the world needs to see one more, you know? The world is demanding it. The Brooklyn paper is demanding it. Why can't we just, once and for all, measure who is the true hot dog champion now, at this moment?
ESPN stage manager will cue you. You will walk up the stairs, okay, and then go along the catwalk.
I know I have the capacity to break the record, and with the right weather, with somebody push me, I know it'll happen eventually.
concludes our event. Thank you for coming here to Coney Island on the 4th of July. Joey Chestnut! Joey Chestnut!
What do you think about the Kobayashi thing and the fact that he broke the record today?
Well, it's a farce. It's not here. The record is set here.
Yeah.
It's not apples to apples, and it's kind of ridiculous. The champion is set here. Different hot dogs, different environment, different judges.
Yeah.
The champion's here.
Does the IFOC limit people from doing other contests and limit them from talking to people if they...
Don't limit anybody from talking. Don't limit anybody from sponsors. The only thing we do, contact protects our sponsors and MLE from direct competition. That's what it's all about.
So what do you say to eaters who can't do other competitions and make money because they can only do your
They're welcome to
competitions?
do those competitions. We make choices in life.
They're welcome to do it even if they're not allowed?
No, they can do those and not ours. There wouldn't be no Major League Eating circuit if there weren't contracts. There would be no one would get $600,000 worth of prizes, which is what we put out, if there were no contract, because tomorrow, he could go work for a rival hot dog brand, and he would.
It's easier to say that if they're getting paid, but most of these eaters don't get paid per event, right?
They make lots of money. I don't know, what's a lot of money to you? Is $30,000? Is $220,000?
Only the winners make it, right?
Yes, that's right. The winners make
So
it. It's
others have to pay their travel?
It's as unfair as golf or tennis,
But
anything
the
like
golfers
that.
get paid to show up in an event.
Well, these guys get paid appearance fees all the time.
All of them do?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could show you 15 or 20.
They
It's
get
true.
appearance fees?
Look, I love you. Go kiss Kobayashi. We're doing the best we can. He doesn't want to be here because he doesn't want to compete directly against Joey. So say whatever you want. But
Oh no,
that's
I'm
the
not
truth.
trying to kiss
Okay.
Kobayashi.
I'll
I'm
talk
just
to you
like,
later. I got just
no other comments?
I don't know how much longer I'll do it. I mean, I do get bored sometimes because I do go to a lot of the same places. You can only get drunk so many times with the same whatever. And then like a year later, it'll be fun again, the same thing.
Although I'm disappointed by the year, hey, it's just like an athlete in any other sport. You have a good year, you have a bad year. So if you have a bad year, you pick yourself back up, you plan for the next year, and you make the adjustments you have to make. And I still want to be a better reader.
I don't know how it's going to be stopped now. This is like an avalanche. I mean, this just gets bigger every year and crazier every year.
The human spirit is such that it cannot not challenge itself. When the mountain is there, you climb the mountain. Why? Because it is there. Same thing with a hot dog. It is there. Put 80 of them in front of me. They are there.
Oh no, this is an American sport. It was created here. I want the America I grew up with in which we ate more than we were entitled to because we could.
There's a few people that can say, I owe my success to a hamburger. One of them's the CEO of McDonald's, one of them's the CEO of Burger King, and one of them is me.
今この仕事をしてて自分が感じたのって結局その一番おかしいと思われたりとかあんたってちょっと変わってるねって言われるとこが実はその人の一番の個性で一番のブランドになるんだよっていう。
Taco Bell tacos in Puerto Rico.
Do you think this competition would have been better with Kobayashi still in it?
Yeah, I don't know. How much drama do we need? We don't need any more drama queens, but yeah, I think it was a great competition. If he wants to compete, I'm game.
Eating fans, 4 years later, this is 2012. Last time we had this man in Buffalo. He was angry. He was upset.
You see, some of us still have our balls, Pete. We didn't roid them out of our scrotes.
So what do you think of some of those outrageous, horrible comments about you and myself?
I would have loved to have seen something from Eaters. Pete can beat you up. Pete can beat you. Pete's a better eater. Call me a nerd at one point, which I thought was pretty interesting, but I don't know, Avengers is somewhere near the #1 movie on the planet. I guess I'm not so alone in that.
Do you have any last words to say about this, Pete or anyone else?
I miss iPost, but I'm not that big a deal about it, and I'm still a pretty great eater. It'd be nice if there was a separate door on the ATM, like the all-night ATM. You just slip them in.
Oh, cool, man. All right. Okay. Yay.
There gotta be sharks in this water.